This is the 2023 Honda Accord. This is the hybrid sport trim level we're going to be taking a look at today. So that means it's going to feature the new dual motor hybrid electric system that is supposed to be more responsive and help to provide for a sportier driving experience. We'll see what happens out on the test drive. One thing that has not changed, even though this model is fully redesigned, is that you have 16.7 cubic feet of cargo capacity back here, the same as the 10th generation. And if you're wondering about this exterior color, this is still night pearl that we're looking at here. Obviously going to have a black interior. And some of the additional changes, obviously you're going to have a different engine combination available under the hood than what we've had in the past. A couple of different options there. Tell Honda down in the comments section what you would ultimately like to see change in the future where that is concerned, because I know what some of you are going to say, and honestly, I'm with you on that. You also have Google Assistant built in now that allows for quite a few nice features as far as voice commands go. Let's dig in a little bit deeper and find out if the 2023 Honda Accord is better than ever. And today I'm here at Holmes Honda in Shreveport, Louisiana. So if you are interested in buying this hybrid Accord Sport, well, you can check out the link down in the description of the video. That will also take you to the Holmes Honda website to look at any other Honda vehicle you may wish to look at. With the still night pearl exterior color, you definitely have a very nice look. Having the gloss black with all of the different trim pieces that surround the lower portions of the body, with the door sill area down there on the rear end, and also with the front end with that front lip spoiler and everything we have there, that looks really nice. More squared off than it was in the past, but not completely squared off. And no matter what anybody says, I just don't see the Ford Taurus in this model. Something that didn't change for 2023 is the fact that you only have front wheel drive. Tell me what your thoughts are on that. We're gonna have 235 on the width with our tires, a 40 series sidewall. It's gonna contribute to a good ride quality because it's not too tall of a sidewall. That can hurt ride quality. Or obviously a shorter sidewall will do the same thing. And LED lighting everywhere you look, LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and obviously the turn signal indicators right there that you want to use, because not only do they look cool, but it also helps people around you to know what your intentions are. Imagine the novelty factor of such a thing. And I will say this, the way that Honda designed the air curtains right here, I like the design. They are functional. Obviously, this area right here, I'll show you on the other side where the air comes out, passing through the front end, coming out right here. That's gonna help to improve drag, decrease drag, and improve aerodynamics. And as we look at the front end from this view, I'll tell you what, that exterior color on this car is really nice, at least in my personal opinion. We are going to have a lot of gloss black accent here, including the mirror caps. These are heated, power adjustable, but manually folding side view mirrors. I'm going to show how to manually fold that, because one time I said that you could manually fold the side view mirrors on one of these Honda vehicles, and somebody said I didn't show you how to do it. Do you really need that? Probably not. Here's the remote for 2023. A sturdy remote. It's small, it's compact, and it has remote start. I know a lot of you love that feature. It is a proximity key. You have the walk-away feature, and you can make adjustments to that in the infotainment screen. Body color on your door handles, and the gloss black shark fin antenna. Again, I think that looks good. I think it fits here very well. Being the sport trim level, we're gonna have the spoiler right here, and gone are the either crab claw or stapler look tail lights. Tell me what you think about the new design back here. Do you like it? Do you not? What are your thoughts on that matter? And we'll finish things off with the rear here. I wouldn't really call it a diffuser so much, but you do have a fairly clean look back here without the exhaust coming out. In my personal opinion, I'd rather have the exhaust coming out because it just looks right. It looks, well, like it should, in my opinion. But everybody's different depending on your desires. You're gonna have the hybrid logo right here, obviously the Sport, and then the Accord logo over there. Let's talk a little bit about the two engine options you have here. And I'm interested to see what your thoughts are on that and what you might want Honda to do in the future. Normally, I am not a fan of the manual prop rod, but in this case, it allows us to use the vehicle visionary port. Yes, I know it's the service port, but in this case, it's the vehicle visionary port to open the hood all the way and give you a really good look at what's under the hood of this particular model. Now, what's not here is the turbocharged version. The 1.5 liter you'll find with the EX and LX trim levels. The 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, it makes 192 horsepower, 192 pounds-feet of torque. It's mated to a conventional style CVT, continuously variable single-speed transmission. In this particular case, we're looking at the hybrid combination, which is a 2-liter 4-cylinder mated to that dual motor electric system we talked about earlier that's supposed to be improved for 2023. Horsepower numbers come in at 204. The torque numbers come in at 247. It's mated to an eCVT. What about the MPGs on this particular model? Let's take a look. 46 highway, 46 city, 41 highway, 44 combined and 2.3 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. Now you might notice those numbers are flip-flopped. Why is that? Well, being that this is a mild hybrid, it's not going to constantly be in EV mode, although when it's charged up enough, it will be. But when you're out on the highway, it's going to be really running off of the gas version of the engine more than anything else, or the gas engine, I should say. And that's why those numbers are flip-flopped. The advantage to that kind of thing is the fact that you don't have to worry about, do I have enough charge capacity? Because the gas motor will charge up the hybrid system. And when the hybrid system is up to capacity, it's going to go into EV mode. When it gets below a certain capacity, the gas engine kicks on, and as long as you have a gas motor, or gas, I should say, in the tank, it doesn't matter what's going on. If you're stuck in traffic, if it's really cold, you don't have the problems of a typical EV. And even though I talked about the fact that you have 16.7 cubic feet of cargo capacity, which has not changed for 2023 from the 10th generation of the Accord, let's take a look at what we have anyway, just so you can see what's here. You saw I pulled on the release back there in the trunk, nothing new. We can lower the seats. Obviously, we can do that on both sides to maximize cargo capacity. And when it comes to the interior, we're gonna have a soft door panel right here. If I use the armrest test and put my arm on there, yep, my arm is comfortable. That feels good. When you push down on that, sometimes it doesn't feel as comfortable as it really is. That's really kind of a bad way to test for that. We will have the door bin right here. Really not a small door bin, about average size for a sedan of this size. And then we'll hop inside. There is a reasonable amount of room here in the rear seating area. You can see that I have plenty of leg room, and we do still have the singular rear pocket on the seat right here. But one thing that is missing here, no rear air conditioning vents, no connectivity. There are ways to deal with that, obviously. You can't put air conditioning vents in back here. I don't think this interior is going to suffer in that respect, but yeah, that would be nice to see as far as that goes. It would be a little more convenient for rear seat passengers. You do have the fold down armrest with the cup holders built in. And something else that I like here is the latch system in this rear area where you can tie in the child safety seats. Let's see if we can get that out there where we can see it. It's right here. They're going to be up in this area right here. But I like the fact that there's nothing you have to remove to get or gain access to the latch system. So that's one less thing that you have to keep up with. Now, I know some people were hoping for a panoramic sunroof. You still have the conventional size sunroof here. Tell me what your thoughts are on that. I'm always curious to know. And taking a look in through the passenger side door into the front seating area, we're going to have still those same very soft, feels like about a medium rare steak if you poke down on that. Some of you aren't even going to know what I'm talking about when I say that. Just look up how to test for doneness on a steak, then you'll know. Larger door bins in the front, so if you have a door bin snob in your life, well, this is where they're going to need to sit, or they might swipe the remote from you over there. I don't know. And we will have power seats that are both heated for the driver and the passenger. I am disappointed that there's no ventilated seats here, but it is what it is. And a quick look across the dashboard, similar to that of the 11th generation of the Civic, but not identical. So that's a good thing. If you want something that looks different, well, here you go. Plenty of space inside of the glove box that never has gloves inside of it. And we will find USB connectivity up here. Your conventional style shifter. I know you're gonna like that because there's very few people who like push button shifters, and so you're good here as far as that goes. And then our cup holders, mode selector, you can go into EV mode right here if there's enough charge capacity, power parking brake and brake hold mode. We also have the, feels more like a rare steak, lid for the center console and the space within the center console. Yes, we're doing a test drive, that's why I have that. And there is your space within the center console. And you have a USB port right there, so potentially, or excuse me, a 12-volt power outlet. I'm thinking ahead of myself. Potentially you could get an adapter to put in there that you could run to your rear seat passengers that can allow them to have USB connectivity through the adapter. And in case you were wondering about the upper console, we have the sunglass holder right here. Here's the control for the power sunroof. If you have an emergency, well, there you go, you can use that. And you have other features and functionality. I probably don't have to tell you too much about what is there. And you do have the vanity mirror, not that I'm vain, but there's the vanity mirror with the lights built in. And let's see how far back the visor goes. I think that will go back far enough for most people to completely block out the sun. Obviously, you could recline the seat or move the seat back far enough to where that could be an issue. And when the driver wants to exercise 204 horsepower and 247 pounds-feet of torque, there's the oh crap handle for the passengers to hold on to. And by the way, I did want to show you that when you lock the vehicle, it also locks the gas door right here. We'll open that real quick just to show you that there is capless fuel fill there, in case you were wondering. And here on the driver's side door, you're gonna have a few more accessories than we saw on the passenger side, such as controls for the windows. The front windows are automatic up and down, one touch. You can lock the windows, the doors, and control those heated power adjustable side view mirrors. And one thing we definitely didn't see on the passenger side, 2 settings for seat memory. We also have the release right here that we can drop and adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. The driver's seat is 10-way power adjustable. The passenger seat is 4-way adjustable. So we're gonna hop in here and just take a quick look at what we have. Here is the updated instrument cluster, a very nice look. You'll know when your headlights are on, even during the day. Yes, at night, I think you would know. Anyway, at least we hope so. But that's how you can tell. Kind of a new graphic there that is going to show you when the headlights are on, all that good stuff. And you can see the dashboard. Pretty simple, pretty easy to figure out. You can go through quite a bit of information depending on what you want to do with your vehicle, what you want to know about it, what you might want to adjust, all that good stuff. It's all here. And so pretty easy to deal with. Steering wheel mounted controls, as you can see here, here's your adaptive cruise control. Here are your controls that would seem to be paddle shifters, but for those who don't know, that's how you adjust what your regenerative braking is doing. That's basically using kinetic energy to keep the battery charged for those 2 electric motors with the vehicle's movement. Basically, when you start to slow down, it uses that to take care of business. To put it simplistically as I can, that's what we have. Over here, you can control the headlights and those blinkers I was talking about earlier, those things that make you look cool and also let people know what you're doing on the road. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The 12.3-inch touchscreen, the largest that Honda has ever had. You can see that I've paired my phone here, so you have wireless capabilities. You don't need a USB cable to connect your phone, whether you're using an Apple phone or an Apple or an Android device. Let's get that correct. So there we go with that. A very nice screen, very nice looking, very easy to use. And I like the graphics they have here for everything. This really does look pretty nice. Depending on what you want to do with your vehicle, well, it'll give you different graphics for different functionality you might want to adjust. There's a lot going on here. I'm not going to go through every single little thing, but here are some of the things you can adjust and change. And if you'll notice, I kind of just naturally put my hand up here because, well, that's really what that's intended for. It just makes it easier to manage everything up here and do whatever you need to do. You even have your lighting set up right there if you want to see what all is there. I'm not going to do everything on that, but just to show you what is here so you'll have an idea. And we'll go back here to what we have with our smartphone just so you can see what Apple CarPlay looks like. I can't show you Android Auto because, well, I don't have an Android device. But a very simple system. You will have built-in navigation this way depending on what you want to use for your vehicle. But ultimately a very nice, easy to use or easy to learn if this is the first time you've ever had something like this system. And there's what we finish out with. If you are directionally challenged, guess what? You even have the compass right there. And last but not least, in this particular area, here are our rear view cameras. A very nice, clear look. They're responsive, even though it didn't respond instantly when I touched it that time. That was because I didn't push it hard enough or maybe in the right place on the screen. And something else I wanted to show real quick before we do too much, our mode selector. Let's see what our driving modes look like. You can see right here that we have individual. You can change to sport, normal, or econ. And you have graphics with each driving mode, as you can see right there. I hope that's showing up well on the screen as far as what's on the dashboard. But you know what? That's not the only place where you see very nice graphics. Also on the 12.3-inch touchscreen, we're going to go through the modes right here just to show you what all is there, kind of give you an idea of what things look like and how they work. But speaking of what things look like and how they work, let's mount you up here to the sunroof with that suction cup I showed you earlier, and we'll get out on the road for the test drive. And by the way, before we get out for our test drive, if you're curious to know what the audio system sounds like, here you go. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of what it sounds like in here. I have made no adjustments whatsoever to tuning the system as far as the bass or the treble or any of that kind of stuff. Someone else may have, I don't know, but that's what it sounds like nonetheless. Okay, we're out on the road for our test drive, and I wanted to give you the opportunity to hear what the road noise is like. We're about to be in an area where the speed limit is 65 miles per hour, so this will give you an idea. I'll just be quiet and let you listen for a few seconds. Now I know that might seem really noisy. Keep in mind, we're in EV mode right now. It's as quiet as it's possible to have it within the interior. The fan speed is as low as I can get it on the air conditioner. The radio's not playing any music, and there's no one to talk to. I'm not on the phone, none of that. So it's really quiet in here. So it might sound really bad. Plus, this road is very washboarded out, so you're going to gain a lot of noise. What is my ultimate verdict on the subject? Well, the road noise is not too bad here. Most people are not going to be in this exact situation for long periods of time on their daily commutes or whatever they may be doing. But ultimately, it is just fine in my personal opinion. You really need to drive one of these for yourself to find out. So let's see here what happens. We're in Econ mode now. I went from normal to Econ and honestly can tell absolutely no difference in how the vehicle is driving. Going to sport mode, I can actually feel a little bit of a difference. I could feel a change in the attitude of the engine and the transmission. So what that basically means is the RPMs are going to rise faster than they would otherwise. It's not making big wholesale changes to everything, such as what you might have with vehicles that are higher end vehicles, high performance vehicles, Mercedes-Benz or BMWs or whatever the case may be, where you go into a different mode and it changes just about every aspect of the vehicle. But still, it's there depending on what you want to do. I will say that if you were having a bad day and you owned this Accord Hybrid Sport, you can have a really good time on a spirited drive because, well, it handles very well. Even though I'd love to have back that 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that made 252 horsepower compared to 204 what we have here with the hybrid combination, well, it's still not too bad. It's fun to drive, but it's not my daily driver either. I know a lot of people are very passionate about having that turbocharged motor back. I can understand because that was definitely a big difference. Made the Accord for the 10th generation a lot more enjoyable to drive. But one way or another, this is still an enjoyable vehicle. The ride quality is good. Now we're on a smooth road. Let's listen. I know everyone's opinion is going to be different, but for me, it's not loud at all. It's actually quite quiet, so not too terribly bad. But again, that goes back to what your personal preferences are. That's why it's better for you to test drive these vehicles. I think that a test drive in a car review video on YouTube is probably the most useless thing, because really I'm giving you feedback based on my personal driving experiences that I'm used to. So for me, it may be better than it would be for one person. Or for another person, they might say, well, Tom, it's even better than you said. So that's why it's best to get out and try it for yourself. But overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. The technology is easy to learn. The interior is comfortable. It's roomy. The responsiveness of the steering is good. It's a very enjoyable vehicle as far as handling goes. And just an overall nice mid-sized sedan. Even if you don't like the exterior design, I definitely have to say that I think Honda did their best work here in the interior. And there it is, the 2023 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport. Is it better than ever? Tell me what your thoughts are down in the comments section. I know a lot of people have definitely given the thumbs down to this 11th generation of the Accord, and I wonder how frequent was that when the 10th generation first came out? Did it take some time to grow on people? Well, some of you might be able to tell me down in the comments section, because I wasn't making videos at that point, so I don't actually know. But tell me what your thoughts are. Gotta say a special thanks to my friends here at Holmes Honda for loaning me this Accord Sport for the day. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch and give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and would like to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.